What's happening, traders, and welcome back to Shifty FX. Another fantastic week in the market, great volatility, good market structure, and an outstanding opportunity to get in. We understand that given all the conflict that is occurring, DXY is gaining strength. Therefore, our base quote majors like EU, GU, AU, we can just come to the market and look for those sells. Okay. One thing that a decade of trading has taught me is that simplicity is key. We want to mark out our various swing opportunities. Okay, market is, you've heard it all before. Market's going to draw towards external, internal range liquidity, internal being order blocks, fair value gaps, external being your swing levels. Okay, we can see here, unfortunately, I failed to capitalize on all of this move. I was away with the family for a week, but I did manage to catch a nice trade on Friday, which I'd break down for you now. Market manipulates. Okay, taps into a fair value gap, manipulates a 4-hour continuation down. Taps into a fair value gap, manipulates, continues down, manipulates, continues down, manipulates, continues down. Okay, like I said, this is a decade that I've been behind the charts and the easiest approach that I've ever adopted in my trading. What I'm looking for in the market is understanding that time, so my kill zones. I'm looking to trade early mornings, London. I'm looking to trade potentially the London lull. That is going to be my 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And then from 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the afternoons. Okay, New York time. So what we've seen here, market has pushed aggressively down. We've taken all of these swing levels out. We have another swing to the downside. And I'm just looking for that continuation. Not looking for reversals. I'm not going to trade against the grain over here. So what do I see? I see we have an inside bar formed, which is brilliant for liquidity standpoint. So let's go back here. So 1 a.m. candle prints, bearish. 5 a.m. candle prints, bullish, inside bar. What I'm looking for is a manipulation of that high. Okay. Same thing every single day. That's all I'm looking for. So if I go 8-4 manipulation, we see market taps into that within my kill zone. We drop to the 1 hour. I did not get the candle print that I wanted. So generally I'm executing straight off of the 1 hour candle. Okay. And what I mean by that is I'm looking for something similar to this. I'm looking for a sweep, close within that range. So bullish manipulation, closes bearish within that candle range. Okay. That gives me my trigger, my execution to go. Did not see that. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight how that candle closed. So there's my close over there. I'm going to drop to the lower time frame. I very rarely do this because I generally get the H1 entry that I'm looking for, but sometimes I just have to drop. And when I say I drop down, there's probably 1 in 20 trades that I do this. If we have a look over here, there's the execution on the 5 minute. Took my 2R. I'll break that down for you now. So let me remove that. Again, like I said, there's the 1 hour candle close. Right, unfortunately didn't push low enough to give me my indicator trigger. So all I'm going to do is have a look on the lower time frame, see what happens. So what do I have over here? I have a market high on the 4 hour and 1 hour manipulation. I have the new high set. All I'm looking for is a change in the state of delivery. And that's on that body of that candle. Market then with the new hourly open closes below and I execute the trade. Okay, right there, hidden above that swing and took my 2R. Yes, I could have run it down for 3R to finish off the day, but given that it was Friday, I was happy just to get into the trade. Like I said, I wasn't here the whole week, so getting a little bit of something was key. Very, very simple approach, guys. Okay. The main concept that I'm trying to introduce here is just looking on those higher time frames. Yes, sometimes that 1 hour manipulation isn't going to give you that bearish candle close that you're looking for, but the main objective is that we have swept liquidity, being the previous 4 hour high, closed down and given us our market structure shift, our change in the state of delivery, whatever you want. I'm just looking for a change in the state of delivery and getting in the trade immediately. I'd rather try and capitalize than wait for it to come back to these fair value gaps. In this instance, it did. And if you were patient enough and you could have executed off of that, your risk to reward would have been a lot greater. All right. So nothing special, just like I said, simplicity is key. Understanding that we are looking for these manipulations. We're looking for fair value gaps to get tapped. Not all the time are we going to get these fair value gap opportunities, but the opportunity for a 4-hour manipulation is extremely, extremely high. Okay. Like I said over here, if you just wanted to get in immediately off of that candle close, understanding that that was your first objective draw, just do it. There you have your fair value gap tap. Bearish close. So for this week, if you were just trading off of the 4-hour alone on one pair and you were quite willing to stack positions, you would have had your 3R to your immediate draw added with another potential 1R trade, I think. Nothing complicated, just sitting around waiting for the right setup. And like I said, I've just had to drop down the lower time frame in this instance to try and look what I was getting, how I was going to get into this trade based on that not giving me the indicator print that I was looking for. But I understood that rejection was good enough for me to wait for the next hourly, get my lower time frame entry criteria, and pull the trigger. All right, guys, I hope this helped you out. Just a brief recap on what I looked for this Friday. Unfortunately, missed majority of the move, like I mentioned, but we are still able to capitalize. If you are taking 2R out of the market each week, you are doing extremely well. That is an 8 to 10% month on the regular without complicating things. All right, I hope that helped you guys out. We'll catch you next week, and happy trading.